The world we know, watched over by monarchs' massive bases, was built on the comforting illusion that the top of the food chain was occupied by ancient titans of flesh, bone, and radiation. But in the darkest crevices of a distorted reality, a genetic era began to pulse. Shin Sonic, also known in classified files as Shinnik, is not just a creature. He is a biological algorithm of mass destruction, a predator that hunts not for balance, but out of an insatiable, cannibalistic desire. Coming straight from the nightmares of Evanimus's analog horror, he enters Legendary's Monsterverse not as just another giant animal, but as an alien infection that challenges Godzilla's atomic sovereignty and Kong's brute ancestral strength. He is classified as a monster who gains sickening cravings for animals and humans, spreading like a relentless virus and growing grotesquely as he devours thousands of victims. Of unknown age, his bloodlust threatens to turn the entire world into pieces of useless metal. Today, the Titan ecosystem will face an evolution that takes not millions of years, but seconds of pure and absolute terror. As always, the comparisons here will be by chapters or acts like all the videos, so Shin Sonic's first clash will be in Chapter 1, Patient Zero on Skull Island, an island of giant shadows. Threat level to Shin Sonic is low. The onset of the infestation is marked by a disturbing silence in the humid and dense jungles of Skull Island. Far from the eyes of satellites, Shin Sonic emerges in his Phase 2, which is up to 2 meters tall, with his blue fur stained with dark fluids and his smile torn by rows of human and canine teeth. He is a schizophrenic blur among the ancient trees. The initial banquet, the ecosystem will collapse. The island's sentinels are the first to fall. The giant spiders, known as mother longlegs, attempt to pierce the invader with their legs that mimic bamboo trunks. However, Shinnik's bodily elasticity allows his bones to bend at angles that would drive any biologist mad. He dodges the thrusts, opens his disproportionate jaw, and shoots out his muscular tongue, wrapping it around the spider's cephalothorax and pulling it into the darkness of his throat. The scent of death attracts scavengers. The psycho-vultures descend from the skies, followed by a pack of juvenile and medium-sized skull crawlers. To the island's predators, Shinnik looks like prey, but Shin Sonic is massively hypersonic. Before the first skullcrawler can touch the ground to pounce, Shinnik transforms into a blue streak of kinetic violence. He tears through the bodies of the bipedal reptiles, shredding hide, bones, and internal organs through the sheer speed of impact. With every kilogram of reptilian and alien biomass consumed, the anomaly's cellular structure collapses and rebuilds itself. The skin tears and larger bones pierce through the flesh. He evolves instantly to Phase 3, which is up to 3.1 meters tall, where the simple act of running generates the shockwave dash technique, sweeping away acres of tropical jungle as if it were cut grass. Conclusion: Skull Island's ecosystem is lethal to humans, but the native predators are strictly limited by standard organic biology. They are slow and predictable targets against a hypersonic being that manipulates his own size to dominate the landscape. Shin Sonic didn't fight, he merely dined. Chapter 2: Mechanical Fury and Firestorms. The Great Falcon Rodan and the Combat Engineering Mechagodzilla. Threat level to Shin Sonic is medium. with Skull Island consumed and transformed into a graveyard of crushed bones. Shinik uses the coast to accelerate. He crosses the Pacific Ocean like a biological torpedo, raising tsunamis in his wake. By consuming whales, sharks, and entire naval fleets along the way, he reaches the terrifying Stage 5, hitting an impressive 45 meters in length and height. He is now officially a kaiju. In his path, the radars of Monarch and Apex Cybernetics go crazy. In Puerto Rico, the volcano erupts, releasing the fire demon, Rodan. The winged titan dives from the sky, cloaked in flames at supersonic speeds, seeking to carbonize the blue anomaly. However, Shinik has already adapted. As Rodan scrapes by to grab him with his molten claws, Shinik taps into the power of the Chaos Emerald within him. With a distorted flash, he uses teleportation. He vanishes from the ground and reappears in freefall, exactly above Rodan. The 45-meter anomaly sinks his thousands of fangs into the bird's magma wings, tearing off chunks of volcanic rock and flesh. At this exact moment of aerial chaos, the sky is cut by precision missiles. Apex Cybernetics has sent the pinnacle of human engineering, Mechagodzilla. The robotic titan lands heavily, ignoring the wounded Rodan, and focuses its sensors on the anomaly. The mecha fires its proton scream, a red energy beam capable of slicing titans in half. Shin Sonic, however, is no ordinary physical target. He projects his infamous illusions directly into Mechagodzilla's cameras and neural sensors. The machine's artificial intelligence goes into a loop, processing images of despair and analog static. Taking advantage of the processing lag, Shin Sonic uses his hypersonic vibration. He runs in circles around Mechagodzilla so fast that he creates a vacuum tornado, destabilizing the robot's gravity thrusters. Next, he opens his mouth and emits a summoning scream, expelling thousands of mutated and bloodied Tails clones. The small two-tailed aberrations infiltrate Mechagodzilla's hydraulic joints, tearing wires and exploding engines from the inside. Through corruption, Earth's strongest metal yields to the virus. Conclusion: Rodan relied on heat, which was useless against teleportation. Mechagodzilla had the firepower needed to vaporize the mutant, but its lack of biological instinct and its dependence on targeting systems made it an easy victim to the mental illusions and organic corruption that Shinik inflicts upon electronics. Chapter 3: Extraterrestrial Chaos and the Corruption of the Sky. Monster Zero. King Ghidorah. Threat level to Shin Sonic is high. The destruction of Mechagodzilla and the defeat of Rodan trigger a global red alert. The Shin Sonic anomaly is now classified as a destructive force of biblical proportions, capable of threatening the existence of all continents. The sky darkens with unnatural yellow storm clouds. King Ghidorah, Monster Zero, seeking to eliminate the competition for Earth's throne, the three-headed space dragon, descends in a Category 6 hurricane of lightning. Shinik, stabilized at his frightening 45-meter height, faces death from space. Ghidorah's three heads fire their gravity beams simultaneously, hitting the blue mutant dead on. The impact destroys miles of the landscape, turning the earth into glass. But above the smoke, Shin Sonic's empty white eyes glow. Reactive evolution is in full effect. His body burns, but his cells absorb the alien bioelectricity. Shin Sonic's skin heals in seconds, taking on a rubbery, insulating texture. Ghidorah tries to bite and leave the mutant to drain his energy, as he did with Godzilla, but this is a fatal mistake. Shin is a parasite by nature. When Ghidorah's middle head bites the anomaly's shoulder, Shin bites back. He injects his corrupted DNA directly into the alien bloodstream. Ghidorah lets out a screech of sharp pain as his golden scales begin to necrose. Shin utilizes his pseudo-telekinesis, which is air manipulation, opening his colossal jaw to generate a suction vortex that pins the dragon to the ground, preventing him from flying away. The combat levels mountains, but Ghidorah realizes he cannot beat a being that evolves to counter death itself. The space dragon is forced to retreat into the stratosphere, severely corrupted and mutilated. Conclusion: Ghidorah is a planet destroyer with formidable regeneration and immunity to Earth's oxygen. However, the dragon found in Shin, a being that does not respect the laws of physical combat, evolving instantly to neutralize electrical shocks and spreading necrosis through mere contact. Shin didn't just survive, he humiliated the alien Alpha. Chapter 4: The Earth Extinction Protocol. The Final Judgment. Godzilla Evolved. Kong and Shimo. Threat level to Shin Sonic is extreme to existential. The Earth has reached its critical limit. Shin Sonic has devoured enough biomass to maximize his strength. His presence generates continuous seismic tremors. The planet summons its supreme trinity of defenders. Godzilla Evolved. Kong with his beast glove and the grandiose freezing beast, Shimo. The setting is the smoldering ruins of a mega city. On one side, Godzilla emerges in his evolved form, supercharged with 20 times his normal radioactive capacity. By his side, Kong wields the mechanical beast glove, ready to break physics with sheer strength. And crawling through the eternal ice, the colossal Shimo, the creature that caused the Monsterverse's ice age. Shimo strikes first. She fires her absolute zero glacial breath. The ice beam hits Shin, instantly paralyzing him in a skyscraper-sized iceberg. But the silence is short-lived. Shin uses his size manipulation, expanding and contracting his cellular mass in microseconds. The extreme cellular friction generates heat, exploding the ice prison from the inside out. Kong takes advantage of the explosion and leaps, using the Beast Glove's thrusters to deliver a direct punch to the anomaly's skull, a power strike. The impact would make any titan fall, but Shin uses his elasticity. The mutant's face sinks in to absorb the kinetic energy like rubber, and with a ricocheting snap, he returns the force in the form of a shockwave that throws Kong blocks away. The primate tries to get up, but Shin projects macabre visions of his species' extinction into his mind, leaving Kong paralyzed by psychological terror. Godzilla Evolved does not hesitate. His dorsal plates glow in a blinding magenta, draining energy from the planet itself, and he fires his spiral atomic breath. Shin understands that he has no notable weaknesses, but he knows that beam is the apex of terrestrial destruction. He charges toward the beam using the shockwave dash imbued with the radiation of the Chaos Emerald. The two forces collide. The heat melts the surrounding metropolis down to the Earth's mantle. Half of Shin Sonic's body is melted by the atomic radiation, but reactive evolution reaches its climax. he begins to fuse Godzilla's radioactive signature into his own genetic code. The mutant develops sharp bone plates on his back, and his empty eyes glow a sickly pink. Sonic advances faster than light to the Titan's eyes, opening a mouth that is now larger than his own body, prepared to swallow the king of the monsters. Conclusion: even against the massive combined force of the three greatest gods of the Monsterverse, the mutant Shin Sonic has reached singularity. His ability to evolve to resist absolute zero, absorb colossal physical damage, and corrupt the divine radiation of Godzilla Evolved maintains him as the untouchable plague of the universe. Shin Sonic proves to be the ultimate consequence of unchecked evolution. In the Monsterverse, he wouldn't just be a new predator or a rival Alpha Titan. He is the definitive extinction event, the game over screen for all terrestrial and extraterrestrial biology. If not instantly obliterated by a superior force, planet Earth will just be another completed stage in his infinite horror game, being one of the greatest variants of Sonic horror. This is Shin Sonic.